Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Morning, Bill. Hey, Tick Trader. All right, well, we are getting going. Massive move off of the CPI. I told you all yesterday this was going to be a big one, so hopefully some out there paid attention. This was an eval passing kind of move for sure, if you're into that. Morning, Squid. Hey, Roberta. Hey, Isaac. Good morning, Bruno. Good morning, Jonathan. Hey, Neil. Alberta, yeah. No worries. The best practice anyway is to just trade well, build up slowly, get to some funded accounts that way. The quick pass of the evals is only if you're already profitable. Yeah, otherwise it's best just to go slow and steady so you can actually keep the accounts. But yeah, big old move here. Hard to even map out what the heck's going on price action wise, because you get these huge spikes and then it's just outside of your typical price movement, so it's hard to, they often don't follow the same patterns that prices typically do. So we're gonna wait for the open and see what happens here. That will be a lot more clear. And what was I about to say? Yeah, as far as other news today, got through CPI, manufacturing index, all of that. And there, honestly, there wasn't, CPI news wasn't even that big. Manufacturing index, that came in wow, that is quite a miss. Forecasted at 2.7, came in at -12. So that may be the reaction right there, because CPI month over month was only it was right on forecast. Same with year over year. Core CPI slightly down, but yeah, overall very balanced, right on forecast. So it might be an overreaction on the manufacturing index. So this whole move may be pretty artificial. We may see this whole thing come down. Other than that, we have just crude oil inventories, as is typical on Wednesdays. Won't really affect the indices. So no real news, basically. Oh, when is earnings? That is the other thing. I would assume that JPM would report after the close today. I'm looking that up right now. Yeah, JPM already reported, so I haven't looked at the numbers there, but that might also have something to do with what we got going on right now. But either way, the market is now open, and we're going to see what happens here. Give prices a chance to settle down. You can see the volatility already starting. My goodness. This appears so far to be a downtrend that's already played out. We already have one leg, two legs down, pretty much consolidating here. So, you know, initial thought would be, hey, we might see a little bit of a bounce. However, the Nasdaq right now, pretty clearly still in a bearish channel. So maybe the down move ain't over yet. Getting a little bit of a bounce up here. Isaac, if you are in some random YouTube comments wondering whether or not you should buy puts or calls, you really need to take a hard look in the mirror, my friend. You will not be successful at trading like that. I promise you. Better to take things slow, learn how to read price action, and give yourself a couple of years a runway. But yeah, you can't just on the market open know if you're gonna buy puts or calls. You gotta let price action start to play out a little bit, and you have to have a setup that has a demonstrable edge. So yeah, don't have an answer for you, and there isn't one. You gotta learn to trade first. We have this little move up. We have a break of the channel. Might get one more leg. We'll see if the EMA is holding here. I'm not really interested in taking a trade yet. I still think we got to see some of this action settle down. There's still quite a lot of volatility going on. And of course, this huge move up leaves a huge gap on the chart. So we have our gap way down here. We'll see if we start making progress to the downside. This line right here is a high from a couple days ago. Yeah, 2 trading sessions ago. We're kind of hovering right there. Dropping off, and this is why we got to be patient. Could have looked easily like, hey, we could be popping up here. We're going to continue this uptrend. So score 1 point for patience. Let's monitor this move down, see if it develops into a channel. You had your finger on the buy button, huh, Alberta? Yep, exactly. Dangerous stuff, man. Wait for a setup. You'll thank yourself later. All right, this downtrend really is starting to cook now. All right, starting to get a bounce up on this pullback. We'll see if we get a short setup here. The EMA not rejecting so far. Big push up, so man, we're getting some serious V-shaped reversals here, guys. I think sitting on the hands is going to be a wise strategy here for a minute. Will this continue? Will we have a little break here? That kind of is the question right now. Hard to trust these moves since we're having V-shaped reversals. Huge erection. Oh, geez. Yes. Yes, I have you. Many times, and all my YouTube shorts are trades that I've taken on stream. So, but with trading, you got to be patient. I think a lot of the misconception is that traders are taking just trade after trade after trade, and you know, a lot of my trades end up like I have to wait a couple hours, have to wait till the stream's off. So I can't control when the market is going to present an opportunity. And the reason that I'm profitable is that I'm patient for it to do so. So that's just how it goes. No, Bruno, I do not see a bigger downtrend channel. This is very clearly a bullish move, right? Yeah, no, there is not a downtrend that we could be working with right now. Not in the least. If you're confused about what the trend is, always zoom out. Always zoom out. Even if we were to widen this move down, it's already had two legs. It had a break right here and a move down. So either way, no, there's no downtrend. Alberta, yep. Now Isaac's already, I'm sure, in another chat somewhere asking others what they think, asking strangers who has no idea if their advice is good or not, whether he should buy puts or calls. Just a bad place to be in. We may come up and challenge this high here. Getting pretty close. Getting very close to that high. Very likely to break it at this point. Wow. What a move, man. What a move. Yeah, you know, really the only way to trade this at this point, we can't short, obviously. Can't short. But as far as a long goes, you know, this is technically the break and the new high of that uptrend. So not a great place to go for a long. Really the only option would be if we confirm above this high. So We gotta really get up here, confirm above it, hold it, and then we might be able to take a long. But we'll see if this new high leads to correction. Certainly can. We have a giant gap to the downside. This could be just a big bull trap. Here comes that correction. We're dipping back down below the overnight high. So, you know, if we pull back to here, I'm not going to be so inclined to buy. Again, I want to see that overnight high hold from the upside, and that's not happening right now. If it does happen, great, but so far not so. Okay, there we go. That's holding a little bit. All right, all right. Just does feel like we're going to get more of a vertical correction. We're still floating above the EMA too, so hard to take a long up here. And we are getting a big correction candle here. So it may end up being a bull trap. Slicing through the EMA, not offering any support. And with all the V-shaped reversals, you know, it would not be surprising if this was another one. EMA not holding again. So second rejection. I mean, yeah, there's just no way I'm going to take a long here. I want to see more price action. And we'll see how this downtrend develops. Like if this thing keeps going, we could be back in shorts territory. Let's see if we can get back down below that high from the other day though. Strong push up. Yeah, Tom, I guess technically, but you know, it wouldn't have been valid underneath the EMA like that. But if at this point, if we get a higher low, it's definitely a trade I could consider. We'll see if the EMA holds here. Higher low is a little bit too high for me. Hey, Toad, morning. But clearly buyers are interested. I mean, that was a big opportunity for sellers to reverse the market, and it just didn't materialize. Neil, don't complicate it too much. Some people call basically just a third entry a double trap. That's all it is. It's just there was a second entry, it didn't look good, and then a third entry does look good. Like the signal bars on the EMA, the context is right, etc. So that's all it is. That's all people are talking about. Is basically a third entry long. Very close to a new high yet again. Looks like it might want to make an attempt here. Buyers are here, ladies and gentlemen. If it wasn't clear before, there are buyers in the market. So again, not really a setup here. All of our uptrends are played out. You got this move here that's had a break and a new high. This earlier uptrend has had a larger break and a new high. So yeah, all of our uptrends are played out. You know, we don't have a larger pattern. Maybe we end up with something like this, but that's very wide. There's a lot of room on either side. We're just not there yet. Here's the sellers taking another shot. And this is kind of going to be do or die for the sellers here. If they can't push down the market here, we are pretty much just going to continue to drift higher. So watch this very closely. Woo, look at that burst down. This does look like the second leg on that move down. So that might be all that sellers have. That might be it. Wow, another push up. Yeah. My goodness, buyers are in control here. All right, so with that, if we continue to push higher, we will consider this secondary channel. I still think that it's possible that we get a reversal here. You'll notice even in this channel, there's a lot of empty space up here. And again, we have a big gap below us. But yeah, we can for sure consider a long with this strong action. Over on the NAS, I don't know, maybe something like this. Looks pretty decent, but again, we have a lot of space at the top of that channel. And as far as like even bigger channels, don't even consider this yet, guys. Look at all that empty space. This does not diagram price. Be cautious of those big moves like that. Big channels have to be strong trends, and this is very volatile, and obviously the market is way up, but this isn't what a strong trend looks like. Strong trend is just small candles just stacking, one after another. Still way above the EMA. And again, we'll throw that wider channel on. If we push up, that'll bring us a lot more confidence in it. So cool. We'll watch this pullback right here, and if the EMA holds, we can get a buy. Tick trader, that's pretty much it, man. You could add failed breakout in that list. Okay, so we got one bounce on the EMA here. Let's see a pullback and one more bar. So we can take a long. Just the first entry on that push up there. But now that we're getting into the top of the channel, again, this gives us a lot more confidence that what we have diagrammed is correct. So we'll see a pullback, 2 attempts on the EMA, and we are going to be in this thing. Come on, baby. Give us a setup. And one exercise to do, guys, look back constantly throughout the day be looking back on what has happened and see if there was a way that you could have traded differently. I'm looking back right now, and even in hindsight, I'm not seeing anything that I would have wanted to take in this move up. Yeah, there's really no point where there was a solid setup to the upside. But clearly now we're bullish and we can get it here. But yeah, do that throughout the day. Like, you know, and you want to avoid, oh, I should have bought the low of the day, right? You have to actually think critically about what if I was seeing the price action correctly? Is there a way that it gave me a setup? And sometimes that reveals things. For me right now, I'm saying no, not really. Doesn't look like there was any way to get in this. Personally, sometimes it does. Oh yes, reloading data. I will do that now. Thank you guys. Over on NQ, this is possibly a little break and new high of that wider uptrend we had. Unless, of course, we have a secondary channel going. Which actually, that looks a lot better, so I'll trade that. Back on ES, I did reload my data. Does look a little bit nicer. Okay, let's see how the EMA holds here. Archangel, no, I haven't made a video about that, but it's probably because it's like a 2-sentence answer. Which I've talked about in here many times, but you just get more details on a tick chart. At the end of the day, that's really it. If you think about it, you know, let's say we're looking at a time-based chart right here, 7:07 to 7:15. So let's say this is about 5 minutes right here. All of this is about 5 minutes. On a time-based chart, this is just going to look like one candle. You can have it open down here, tiny little look at the bottom, and then a close up here somewhere. So that's all it will look like on a time-based chart. But on a tick chart, you can see a lot more details going on. You can see, oh, okay, sellers did make an attempt to push lower here. They made an attempt to push lower here, but then it continues higher. So it's just more detail. It gives you a little bit more information about what's going on with the price action. The little details that you'd miss otherwise. All right, so we've had one test of the EMA right here. Looked pretty good. Let's see if we can get a bullish bar right around here. Morning, Cricket. Yeah, it's something you just got to experiment with. Archangel might not be for you, you know. I am in no way saying that tick charts are better than time-based chart. It just gives you different information. And I would say that with all things really in trading, you know, there, you just have to understand what information something is giving you. Like if someone swears by a particular indicator, it's not good or bad. It just gives you a certain set of information. You know, if you're looking at VWAP, that is giving you a moving average that considers volume. That's what it's doing. So if that is helpful for your strategy, then of course it makes sense to use. But if it's not, if, you know, let's say volume doesn't really matter to you, well, then that's probably not an indicator that you would use. So with all things, you just have to match up like what you want to accomplish and then use the tools needed to accomplish that. We think very two-dimensionally about this stuff sometimes. Like, oh, is this indicator good or bad? It's like there's no good or bad indicators. It just tells you different things. It indicates different things. Whoa, hence the name. All right, well, we never got a setup there. All inside bars. Needed a nice bullish bar. Not getting it. But if we push back above the EMA and get a higher low, I'd try it out. But again, as I've been saying really all morning, very likely that we could get a reversal at some point here. So I'm not holding my breath for a long setup. Cricket saying I went long at 5984. Snagged a 5-point scalp, but saw a pullback to the EMA 5981. Then a second pullback. I don't know. That is hard to make sense of via just numbers. I'm definitely a visual person, so those are great questions for the Discord. You can actually, you know, take a screenshot of the chart and map out what you're talking about. We are trading below the EMA here. Need to respect the current downtrend. If we can trade above the EMA, get a higher low, bullish bar, that is what I'd be interested in for a long. All right, we're above the EMA here. I just need that higher low and then I'll be in. It's probably the last chance for me to get a setup on stream. Okay, let's see if this bar can turn around. Nasdaq is looking heavy. Feels like it might push down here, but we'll see. That's why we wait for confirmation. Yep, not getting it. But the good news is we do have two legs, so if we got a push up and a higher low here, it'd be a lot nicer than it was previously. We're right on this potential trend line. Dr. Pepper? I don't follow. Yeah, I did not open a can of Dr. Pepper. Did not. I don't typically drink Dr. Peppers at 7:30 in the morning. Not that that's wrong, you know, if that's your vibe, great. All right, pushed well below that channel. At this point, to take a long, I would need a double higher low. So far, not getting that upward momentum that we would need. It's looking pretty heavy. Yeah, so this is what I've been warning all day, guys. This has not been a strong move up. This is what you get. And if this starts going any further, it's going to really drop. There's going to be a lot of trapped traders here. Possible overshoot. All right. Well, I've let you know what I'm thinking for the day. Again, zooming out, can't ignore this bullishness, but you know, this is not a strong trend up. There's a lot of daily resistance right here. We have this huge gap below us now. So I am kind of anticipating that we'll get back in here somewhere. Not saying that we'll entirely fill the gap, but I think we'll probably trade back into here. Blue collar asking, what would a reversal mean? A range day? Perhaps. I mean, there's so much space between where we are and the gap that, you know, I'd say it's more likely just to get some big moves. So maybe like a downtrend, and then after that plays out, maybe another uptrend. This is more what I envision for the day, just based on the price action. It'd be maybe some big swings in either direction. So I think you can be pretty nimble here. Look for plays in both directions. And yeah, trade safe out there, guys. For sure, some volume and volatility in the market with CPI. Again, if this starts to get dropping, this could drop really fast just based on how high up it's come, all the trapped traders. But anywho, I'll see y'all over in the Discord, those of you who are part of the I Am Trading team. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, guys. It's been a pleasure. I wish you a wonderful trading day. Catch you next time.